I mean, there's levels to this, as my brother likes to say. Shout out to James. Today is his birthday. My brother James. However, it's going to take people sitting down, thinking and reflecting through these situations to help start turning this ship, because people need to realize that we have bad thinking. This is horrible thinking, to think that one person is all of your problems. Yes. That's crazy. Wait. I take it back. I'm sorry. One person is your problems. You're right.
It's you.
It's you. You is you problems.
You is you problems.
You is you problems. So you're right. One person is you problems. But the problem is you can't fix you. You need to go to the foot of the cross and get fixed. That's it. There's no other way around it. So in this regard here, there's a lot of soul searching that needs to happen in America and globally, that we need to reflect. Like, our problem is not Trump. Our problem is not Kamala. Our problem is us. We're the problem.
Why didn't you say Weekend at Bernie's guy? Yeah.
I literally talked with somebody yesterday who told me that it is the government's fault that they have a minimum wage job. I'm like, come on, man. You got to break that down to me, man. Where in the state code does it say that this person's name must work at this place for a minimum wage? I got to see this, man.
Yeah, you got to work at.
You got to show me that, man, because I think that's an injustice. If that is in the state code that you must work a minimum wage job, and I've been noodling this out. A lot of this stuff is sin being played out. You do realize it. I mean, if you look at God's very clear and articulate 10 commandments, you'll see there's a lot of sin going on in real time in 4K that we've just masked as something else. And I'll give you a perfect example. Covetousness. We spend so much time looking at what James is doing, what Susie Q, what Transplanted Texan are doing. We spend so much time looking at what they're doing, what they have, and we spend zero time doing the same thing for ourselves, looking at what we have, but we're always comparing. And it's almost like God in his infinite wisdom was telling us not to covet, because he knew that it would generate like a level of discontent, and you would actually spend less time doing for yourself and more time looking at what other people have instead of you. Man, it's almost like he's infinitely wise, so much wiser than us. Say again?
It's like he wrote it on purpose, huh?
I mean, really, he knew for 2 more days on that topic for sure. But no, it is a lack of personal responsibility. I mean, we like to hyperfixate on things that we can't change. And we see this in real life with people that worry about things that happened in the past. Because you know the great thing about, or rather the bad thing about fighting over the past, James?
What?
Can't change it. So it really doesn't matter. Again, like with my example of getting beat up in the alley, I could talk about, I can pray, I can wish, I can do everything I can, but it will still be a reality that happened. It'll never change. So it really doesn't, all this going on about what happened in the past. Granted, yes, there are some instances where we do need to know and remember what happened in our past, but do we really need to go to this degree and this level of it? Because it'll still be exactly what it is. That's another reason why reparations is a bad idea, because there actually isn't a finish to it. So I know a lot of people are upset about that. There's not actual finish to it, because there actually isn't a sin, and there isn't a sin that was committed against you, and there's nobody against whom you're exacting that sin from in real time today.
Yes.
So there isn't a sin, there isn't a sinner, there isn't a sinnee, or one that's been offended, and there isn't a way to properly compensate for it, because it was in the past and it wasn't actually done. So there's no way of stopping. If you pay reparations today, there's no way for our great grandchildren to not say that they needed more.
Yes.
And our parents just didn't add. You gave my parents 10 million. You really should have given them 45 million. So now they're asking for reparations in 40 years, if that were the case. So it is a fool's argument, but dearwokesy@gmail.com. I'll gladly answer it.
Restoring Heroes Project at gmail.com. You can send your place there. I have a punch monkey, and he will take care of all that. Transplant Texas. I'm glad you transplanted from Texas. I really do. Philippians 3. 13 through 14. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead, I press towards the mark, towards the goal. Sorry, I memorized it in King James Version.
I know.
The goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. It is about forgetting what's behind you and keep on moving forward. You cannot hold on to your past. I was discussing this with my wife, and we're talking about things that we went through in younger ages and things like that, and how we're talking about how far God has brought us. We're not using it as a victim mentality of how we can't move on. Like, I grew up with it I grew up first of a single mom. Me and my brothers was a single mom. Then my mom got murdered. Then I grew up in a 2-family home, but it was my aunt and my uncle. I knew that they really wasn't my parents. It's not like, so I grew up in this awkward, I didn't have the same last name as anyone all my life, and Wow. I could be a victim. I could be sad. I can do whatever, especially what I saw when I was younger. I could definitely have excuses to do many of things, right?
For sure.
But Christ got my heart. and I forget those things that are behind me, and I press towards the mark. I forget what's behind me, and I take responsibility through the power of Jesus Christ of what I can do with it. That's true masculinity, and that's real masculinity. That's what we need, and that's what we have.
Yo, hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian, smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian, smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.